What's going on, Rebel family? All you revolutionary minded people out there, all the family, come on in. Tonight's live stream, going to talk about Will Smith. Will Smith is in the sunken place. He's been in the sunken place for a while, and I want to take a look and see exactly why I think he's in the sunken place. It is more than Will Smith just being a simp. That may be part of it, but that isn't the totality of it. That there are some things that um, Will Smith said in his about his background that leads me to believe it's deeper than just Will Smith being a simp, or some of the things that have been said about him. Also, I do believe a part of it is that all the things that we've seen with him and Jada Pinkett over the past month or so, it is for a reason. Why are these things coming out? It's like they're playing tag, or she'll say something one day and there's outrage on Twitter, YouTube, social media. Then he'll come out almost in a sense to deflect and cover for her, but he'll say something, as well, like when it came out about the whole August Alsina thing. Then a few weeks later, well, she wasn't the only one that cheated in the marriage or whatever. She says something, and then he'll say something again. And it's been back and forth with these two the past few weeks. And so I do believe part of it is marketing. He had a book that came out yesterday, and I believe the movie King Richard comes out Friday. So I believe part of it is marketing. And these Hollywood types, they are geniuses at that kind of thing. They will put out some salacious headline or make some salacious statement in order to garner attention, and it's kind of working for them at this point. But I gathered a bunch of video clips and interviews from Red Table Talk to other interviews that Will Smith has done, and I I saw something, and the reason why I gathered that stuff, I saw something early on about what he said in his past that made me, like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and show all the clips of him saying these things to put together my I'm gonna put together my theory on why he is the way he is. And so what I believe it is, it actually was summed up. I saw it yesterday, and it was a video that he posted, his fit life, his shame, his fit life, where he's getting back into the best shape of his life. So this clip actually sums, or this video sums up all of the videos that I found and all of the interviews and so forth. And we would have probably been here 3 hours, but I found one, maybe it's less than an hour, that um, put together, in his own words, and he stated all of the things that I was thinking, and so this is my theory. So let's go ahead and get started on the clip here, and this is from Will Smith's YouTube channel, his shame, my life, my fit life. Here we go.
My father was my hero. His name was Willard Carroll Smith, but we all called him Daddy-O. He demanded rigid perfection from himself and the people around him. When I was 11 years old, he decided he wanted a new wall on the front of his shop. He thought it would be a good project for my younger brother, Harry, and me. Every day for nearly a year, my brother and I would go to my father's shop after school to work on that wall. There were so many times I remember looking at that hole totally discouraged. But Daddy-O wouldn't let us stop. Stop thinking about the damn wall, he said. Your job is to lay this brick perfectly. Then move on to the next brick. Don't be worrying about no wall. Your only concern is one brick.
Don't worry about building no wall. Just lay one perfect brick today.
Okay, so let me pause it there. So the first thing that he said is that his father was a military man and instilled strict military discipline. His father was in the Air Force, and based upon what I've seen of Will Smith, you know, some would say that he's an MK Ultra asset, and his father was his handler, right? And MK Ultra is not a conspiracy theory. It is an actual program that the Senate Intelligence Committee held hearings on. And what is MK Ultra? MK Ultra is a program that was developed in the 50s, 60s as a mind control, a way to control people's minds using psychedelic drugs and different techniques, sex and sleep deprivation, food deprivation. And it was in this is a program started by the CIA in retaliation to the Soviets and the Chinese. Whenever they would capture U.S. soldiers in the Korean War, they would perform mind control on these captured or these POWs. So the United States, the CIA specifically, felt that they needed a program to combat the program that the Russians and the Chinese were developing, so that they could control, minds of have different assets throughout the world and so forth. And what happened was some of the documentation, the CIA, they didn't tell. I don't, plausible deniability if the president at the time knew, but at least the Senate members and Congress didn't know. Some of the files were left around, and someone found the files, and it got back to the Senate Intelligence Committee, and they held a briefing over it to understand exactly where this thing came from. So this is the reason why we know about this program. Will Smith seems like he fits the bill of that type of individual. So, but that's not my theory. I'm just saying that he does fit the profile of an MK Ultra asset, right? Because his father was in the military, and his father instilled strict military discipline based upon what he said, his own words. So let's keep going. There's a little bit more that I want to get to here, and I'm gonna just skip to it. Let's see around here. There we go.
This week.
Just make sure you put some protein and some fats in.
So this is a
So you
documentary
still want
about
to
him
crunch.
getting into shape.
Use
He had
that
a dad
crunch.
bod.
There you
He had a
go.
dad bod, and he was kind of shamed on social media for having a dad bod, because Will Smith is known to be ultra in shape, and in all of his films, he was always the in shape guy, from Ali to the I Robot movie or whatever. So he's trying to get back into shape here. So this is what this documentary is about. Let's keep going.
Will really derives a sense of self from always succeeding and being well liked. The need to feel like, I'm going to be loved, I'm going to win. And for Will, this is his drug. But unfortunately, as with any addiction, it can kind of get a little out of control.
Come on, Will. Get your
Okay, so now this doctor broke down in just one simple statement all of the videos that I put together and so forth, and all of the things that I saw that Will Smith, the way he acted, she just simply broke down his will and his drive, no pun intended, his will and his drive to succeed is his drug. And just like any drug addict, he's addicted to it. And so though it is a very good thing, because it put him in a situation to where he is Will Smith. He was a A-list superstar, celebrity, $20 million a film or whatever it is, had some of the biggest blockbusters in, movie history. But it is also a drug, because he uses this, he can't separate his professional and his personal life. So in the professional life, he has to win, and then he carries that over to the personal life, but it ain't the same. You can't factor in your personal life, you can't factor in for the other person, right? No matter how much he wants to succeed in his marriage, he can't factor in if the other person doesn't want the same thing that he wants. So his ultra drive to succeed can't carry someone who doesn't want to be in that relationship. And I think this is his hang up. This is his problem with uh, Jada Pinkett. And we saw that it was absolutely his issue with the other woman that he was married to, Cherie Zampino. So let's keep going.
Head back. This little ass weight that you can't lift.
My father was military. He was Air Force. I grew up with the double-edged gift of discipline.
You know, that was the hardest day so far. I slept perfectly, just woke up really depleted.
It was military motivation in my house. You get that flag to the top of that hill. And his other favorite thing was, when I send you on a mission, there's two possibilities. One, you complete the mission, or two, you're dead.
So let me pause here. So he told this story in another place. He was like 11 years old, and his father sent him to the store to get some cigarettes. He got to the store. The store owner didn't have the brand of cigarettes that his father liked. So he left, and when he left the store, he saw his friends playing. He actually got distracted and started playing with his friends. His father rolls up, and he's afraid of his father. And his father said, "Hey, look, when I send you on a mission, you either complete the mission or you die." He said, because if you don't come back, then I'll know to grab my gun and come looking for whoever, took my son out. So to say that kind of thing to an 11-year-old, that you either complete the mission or die, that sounds very much like the MK Ultra programming. But he was absolutely programmed with that in his mindset. And he said his father was his hero. So complete the mission or you die. Have a great marriage or you die. That's his concept. So this is what we're seeing with Will Smith. It's an obsession with him to succeed. And and I'm not blaming his father. It is what it is. Our fathers raised us a certain way, and then once we become men, it is up to us to either accept the teachings that our fathers gave us, or we reject them, depending on whether or not once we become men, we think these are uh, valuable lessons or not. So I'm not blaming his father. I just wanted to make sure that, that we're stating that, he got this from his father. So I'm going to keep going here. And this is an excellent documentary show. I would encourage you to watch watch it in totality. But for brevity's sake, I want to hop to certain points to point out that it made the points that I wanted to cover totally accurate.
Right? So I know that worked before,
I was on a tear, the biggest winning streak in Hollywood history. I was working 70 to 80 hours a week, holidays, weekends, even vacations became a time to advance. I noticed that most people came back from Christmas vacation heavier and out of shape. So the holidays, for me, became an opportunity to extend my lead. I made it a point to come back every New Year in better shape than I left last. I would work out and sometimes even abstain from Christmas dinner as an act of personal discipline.
Okay, so look at how he takes everything. He takes everything as a competition. He said he used the holidays as a way to extend his lead for people that he might not know, but he's in competition with everyone else on the planet. So he wants to extend his lead during the holiday season. He's not taking any time off. I mean, the will to win, the sheer motivation is unbelievable. But again, he stated it's a gift and a curse. Okay, let's go right here.
Did he know at that point?
Hey, Ron? No. I told him later.
For Will, goals are everything. It's pretty clear that that came a lot from childhood, where Will really had the sense of, I've got to work, I've got to succeed, I've got to lose this much weight. He has to win completely to stay safe, to stay in control. One of the challenges, though, is control is always an illusion. And when we start getting into the illusion of control over food, it actually can get quite tricky.
I'm not into fasting as a way of weight loss. I don't like it at all. And I don't think it's a healthy way to go about it.
It's not actually peanut butter.
What kind of peanut butter?
Okay, I'm going to get back to this. So, I'm so glad I ran into this, because a doctor validating exactly what I saw in his interviews and just his actions. She makes the point for me. Made the point very easy for me by this documentary piece here, that you know the goals it's everything. It's everything for him. It's about winning and completing the mission, and she states this over and over and over. But this because he actually wanted to just not eat in order to reach his goals of losing a certain amount of weight per week. He was just willing to forego food. And like his little trainer there was basically stating that that he doesn't like that's not healthy to lose weight by not eating. You have to get the right amount of nutrition and protein and fats or whatever your body needs to get the maximum amount of performance out of your body.
It's a kind of peanut butter.
Almond butter.
Almond butter. So it's almond butter, banana, what's the cracker?
Seed cracker.
A seed cracker.
We brought in Mona. She's a nutritionist, and also with Will's doctor, we're going to try to set up a sustainable diet that's going to be healthy, and he's going to have all the energy that he needs.
So this is guacamole, seed cracker, and sprouts.
That looks and sounds nasty.
We had to focus on this idea of nourishment. How's it going to feel to nourish your body with the right foods?
So we're trying to find pre-workout options for you.
So when we look down at his plate, we want to make sure that there is 60 to 70% of high-quality plant-based foods. We also want to make sure that there is a high-quality protein and good quality fat.
Second sip got better. Third sip.
Yeah, this is horrible. So, but it's not about taste, no.
Scotty just finished his.
It's not about taste.
It's not that bad.
I mean, he's just gonna beat me alone just drinking and eating that stuff. That stuff looked terrible. So when he validated what I was thinking, this is horrible, I'm like, okay, I wasn't off here.
So you are ridiculously disciplined, you follow your regimen, you do your exercise training, and you're obviously going to be expending more energy exercising, right? How do we make sure that you are replenishing, in terms of your nutrition to lose the weight and get to where you want to be?
Yeah, actually today we put a monitoring system on him, so it'll measure exactly how many calories that he's burning on a daily basis.
Okay.
So if we're looking to lose a pound a week, 1 pound roughly equates to around 3,500 calories.
Right.
So divided by 7, it's 500 calorie deficit a day, which is a minimal amount.
Okay.
Also, I'd just like to point out, it might look like Scotty's been taking notes furiously. I just want to show.
Yeah, so it looks like he has not been taking notes. Scotty has not been taking notes.
Okay, so that the lady there was his medical doctor. So he has the enough money to have all the doctors and actually make sure that he's doing things the right way and not just trying to cut corners. So that's great. But this is like I said, this is a very good episode here. Let's jump up here. Here we go.
Burning on a daily basis.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Going to the stage like a big fight, huh? Excuse me.
This guy's disgusting.
Good morning.
That was an accident.
No, it wasn't.
It was an accident.
Accident.
An accident.
Will treats the weigh-ins in his typically light-hearted way.
So I was trying to lose a pound and I gained a pound last week.
But deep down, the number on the scale means everything.
We gotta know if we're making progress. It was 220.6, 220.6.
That's exactly what we want every week.
I've never looked this bad.
Sheesh.
I'm gonna fix it though.
Okay, so the doctor keeps validating that everything is about the objective. It's not about the process. It's not about anything else, how he feels. It's about the objective, right? And let's jump here further. So it's everything is for him is about the objective, winning, the goals. It's very good. He brought in Jazzy Jeff. Very good segment between him and Jeff. But I'm gonna skip past that and let's go. And his brother's wrong for the. He might as well had on tidy whiteys. I don't why is I don't know what his brother's doing, but all right, let's go here. So now he flies over to Dubai, and his goal is to climb up the tallest or walk the stairs of the tallest building in the world, tallest man-made structure in the world. His challenge is to walk up these stairs and walk this building. So here we go.
This is official one. This is ground level, level one. So this is the
First leg.
first leg of the Burj Khalifa. I've got a bad feeling about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think we should call it.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Through laying bricks, Daddy-O was training me in limitless perseverance in the face of any and all inner enemies.
Assisted rescue area. I'm gonna need that.
For my entire career, I've been committed to a work ethic of uncompromising intensity. You show up and you lay another brick. Pissed off, lay another brick. Bad opening weekend, lay another brick. Album sales dropping, lay another brick. Marriage failing, lay another brick.
And I'm glad he mentioned the part about the marriage failing, lay another brick. So that's his motto. It's no matter what's going on, you continue to push forward to, as his father had him, he and his little brother building that wall. And what he's doing, he's also reading from the book that he just released today, or yeah, it came out today. So he's also reading the book out loud, and that's what you're reading from. So he's recognized what his issue is, right? But at 52 years old, it's probably too late to change it. He's going to be this way until he's no longer here.
How you doing, big fella?
I'm great.
We're good. We're golden. We need to create some drama.
It'll come.
Nearly a year after my brother and I had started the wall, we mixed the final pile and laid the final brick. Daddy-O plucked his cigarette to the ground and said, "Now don't y'all ever tell me it's something you can't do."
Hope our legs don't lock up.
We are very, very tired. 60 floors to go. Let's go.
My father gave me my name. He gave me his name. And he gave me my greatest advantage in life, the ability to persist in the face of anything, to always get up and lay another brick. He gave me will.
Nicely done, boys.
Yeah. So as much as he, we've heard about him and with his father recently, you could tell how much he respects his father, or at least he understands what his father has given him, right? He said things about how he's seen his father punch his mother in the face. And, just recently, one of the things that he said was that, and I'm sure that's in his book as well, that he contemplated, killing his father, right? That he, wanted to get revenge for his father, whatever he did to his mother, right? And look at when he said he did it, though. Not when he was like maybe at his all-time peak in physicality, in when he's was in his 30s. When most athletes reach their peak in their early 30s because their mental game, they're still physically fit, their mental game is all on the same level, right? Typically when you're younger, your physicality is there, but you don't have the mental. But when you're around 30, you have the mental and the physicality is still there. You haven't started to decline yet. So this is his in his 30s, is around the iRobot Ali time frame. He didn't think about killing his dad then. He thought about killing his dad when his dad was weak and in a wheelchair, and he contemplated rolling his father down the stairs and he was like he'd get away with it. And that shows you two things, obviously, that, or at least one thing, that he was still afraid of his father, right? Bec- Yeah, you that's the time that you contemplated killing your father, is when he's weak and in a wheelchair and you're going to roll him down the stairs to kill him, as opposed to I'm at my peak here and now I'm going to meet him straight up, man to man, but obviously he didn't do that. But it's just amazing to hear, some of the things that he's thought through the years. So he understands his issue clearly.
There you go. 160, baby. 160.
Exactly 60.
Shit. So, I was looking at the building, and it dawned on me that we hadn't actually climbed to the top of the Burj Khalifa. And my sense of accomplishment turned into a dejected sense of failure. So we decided that we were going to actually climb to the top of the Burj Khalifa.
I mean, that sounds like a heroin addict stating that the um, they can never get back that very first high that they got when they first got high the first time, or crack addicts saying the same thing, that the first high is the best high, and you're always trying to reach that moment again. I mean, who on earth but Will Smith would have felt a sense of uh disappointment for climbing 160 floors of a building, but because you didn't get to the very tip top of this building, it was disappointment. I mean, it's astounding, his mindset, and this is a very good case study for brothers recognizing when, um, you know, you have to recognize when it's time to bow out of something. When you, like, for business, there's a certain point in time, is a mathematical formula that you can in business, that when certain costs are more than certain other costs, it's time for the business to fold. You shouldn't even think about it. It's just no emotion. But what do people do? They put emotion in it. It's my business, and I'm sinking thousands and thousands of dollars in it. I'll never come out of the hole. I'll never show a profit because I sunk $100,000 into this business, but I'll never make that over a lifetime in this business. And so they'll keep it going and keep pouring more and more money down the drain. You know, and that's how Will Smith is what I'm seeing here. That he he doesn't know, because winning is everything, and winning is the only thing that he knows. It's winning or die for him. That he doesn't recognize when it's time to let a marriage go. So, for instance, when he was married to the woman Sheree, whatever, he went to a taping of A Different World. Jada Pinkett was there, right? He had seen Jada Pinkett. He wanted old boy Carlton, Alfonso Ribeiro, to hook him up with Jada. So it's like, all right, cool. I'll take you over to the taping of Different World. But he saw this other girl walking. He was like, yo, who is that? And so he wanted to meet this other girl. Wind up not even meeting Jada that night. Met the other girl. Winds up marrying this other girl. Sometime later, he runs into Jada Pinkett. They have a conversation, and it's like, boom. Then he realizes Wow, he's at dinner with this with Cherie, and he goes into the bathroom and he says he just cries because now he realizes I'm married to the wrong person. And he told Jada Pinkett, Jada said, you weren't gonna leave her, were you? He was like, nope. Even though I knew I was married to the wrong person, I would have stayed. So, but Cherie is the one that said, okay, well, look, I can't take this lifestyle, you know, I'm out or whatever. He was like, no, there ain't no divorce. And she said, "Well, you're gonna keep me in a marriage that um, I don't want to be in. I don't want to be in this marriage." And so he's like that hit him like a like a gut punch. And shout out to the lead attorney because he stated this. He stated that in one of his live streams. He stated that women what's the day that women most serve divorce papers on a man, right? And it turned out to be Valentine's Day. And guess what happened to Will Smith? He was served with divorce papers on Valentine's Day by uh Cherie Zampino. So so he would have stayed in that marriage. But Will Smith, the one thing that his father didn't teach him is how what type of women to pick, because the type of guy that he is it's succeed or die. He needed a woman that was cool with playing the background, not wanting the spotlight. Both of the women that he chose to marry, they both wanted some form of the spotlight. The Cherie girl, she was some type of actress, but her career was worse than Jada's, right? Jada Pinkett was pretty much out of show business. She stated that she had bought a house in Baltimore and had left Hollywood and wasn't coming back. But Will called her and said, "Hey, come back," and they got married. And then all of the any of the roles that she got from that point forward, it was because she was attached to Will Smith. But she never wanted play the to play her role and play the background, right? We're seeing the same thing. It's weird. We're seeing the same thing kind of like with Scottie Pippen at this point, him and Michael Jordan. It's like, he has such resentment for Michael Jordan, and it wasn't and it shouldn't be because Jordan gave you your props, but other people clearly the better player was Michael Jordan. But you were a great player. Just play your role and be happy with the 6 championships. And because of Jordan, you made the 50 greatest NBA players of all time. I mean, that's an accomplishment that you wouldn't have got if he wouldn't have been on your team because you wasn't that type of player. And we see it in his own personal life. He wasn't an alpha in terms of a man because you got this woman running around with Future and all kinds of young rookie NBA players, and you're still married to this woman. I mean, it's insane. You know what I mean? So, I guess I'm not built like either one of these guys, and I guess it appears because I'm not a millionaire and so forth and so on. But I know the one thing that I'm not built for is a woman running around willy nilly on me, just embarrassing me every left and turn. And if I was Will Smith, I would have divorced Jada Pinkett strictly on her getting a bald head. I mean, that's just a no go. I told my wife if she ever came in the house with a bald head and it wasn't for some type of sickness, that's the day we're going ahead and get divorced because I can't do that. But I saw the picture. I'm like, what the hell is going on with Jada Pinkett and Will? What like? It's no way you can be attracted to that. But let me keep going here before I keep talking forever. But it's only Will Smith would be disappointed for climbing 160 stairs. It's unbelievable.
During his life. The challenge was that once Will started succeeding, and this is such a danger to people who start succeeding, especially when they start succeeding young, you've set yourself up that you have to keep winning. It's almost like a team with an unbeaten record.
This is safety gear, so why?
See, this doctor is breaking it all down. I mean, what she's saying is absolutely like a drug addict chasing the next high, or any type of addict. Not just a drug. I need to pick on the drug addicts, but you know, Jada Pinkett said she was a sex addict. She's always chasing the next high. And matter of fact, Will Smith even competed with her in that. That dude talked about how, like I said, one of the things, all these things coming up every week. One of them was saying something, and then the other one to say something. Well, when she talked about their sex life was bad. Will had to counter it and say, "Oh, they had a great sex life and they were having sex two, three, four times every day and so forth." And he stated that um, he was going to sexually satisfy this woman or he was going to die trying. I mean, that's the level of addiction this brother has, right? And like I said, this is a good case study. It's way deeper than him being a simp. Like I said, that could be part of it. Not saying that he's not a simp, but it's way deeper than that. It's way deeper than his parents. Well, his parents never really divorced. I think they just were separated for years. It's kind of something that some black people do in certain regards. They'll be separated for a million years, but still legally divorced. I never understood that. But um, and he was competing with his father, right? He's competing with his father. His father didn't have a great marriage, so okay, boom, I got to have a good marriage because I'm competing with my father. It's all competition for him, and that's what fuels him.
Why do we need so much safety gear? Because I don't know what's up there. So this is concerning that we need this much safety gear.
But he's gonna do it anyway.
200 meters. All right, let's see what happens.
Another 200 meters. That's incredible.
This is madness. We are now about to enter, it's called the spire, right? We're about to enter the spire. This is the individual highest point that a human being can be in a man-made structure on Earth. On Earth!
That's what fuels this guy, man. This is
Will is so able to sort of master anything through hard work and looks like the most eminent success. But that didn't come without a cost.
yeah, and one of the costs, obviously, we see it, and in this form, his brand is being hurt. But yeah, because you even have women now calling him weak and lame, and it's that, wow, you can't go out like this and let this woman just walk over you like this or whatever. But obviously, being that ultra successful is going to come at a cost of your family. I know that he also stated that when Jaden, his son, was 15, he wanted to be emancipated. And he was like, that rocked him to his core. It hurt him to have your son say at 15, look, I'm tired of you and my mom's foolishness. I just want to be on my own, even though I'm not adult enough to be on my own. I'm tired of, y'all stuff, right? That could be hurting, and that hurt him because he thought he was just really parenting those kids, and they were doing so great because his oldest son was a high school football star, had scholarships. Willow had #1 records with that Whip Your Hair, and then they had the movie Karate Kid. So they were doing a lot of different things, and he thought, hey, we're on a roll here. But then, here's a letdown for this guy for this kid to say this.
Yeah, we're good?
Yeah, go for it.
This is rolling, and just try and throw it out. It's a 10-foot ball.
Well, I probably won't throw it out.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah, please don't. Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that's the end of the video. Like I said, I had so much documentation or so many uh, video clips of or interviews and so much. We'd have been here for 3 hours if I had to do it that way. But fortunately, I saw this and I didn't even know he was stating some of this stuff, and I just saw it and I was like, let me watch. And then as I got into it, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna use this. And I hadn't even watched all of it. I said, at least the first part of him talking about his father, this is quick and to the point as opposed to some of the interviews that he had. But that's Will Smith's issue. The success is like a drug, but you can't factor again. He can't look at his personal life like his professional life, right? And when he was talking about rap records, right, he stated how Jazzy Jeff was the only guy that he knew that outworked him. He said he would get to Jeff's house, and Jeff had already put in 10 hours before he got there, and then they'd put in another four. He was like, man, this guy is outworking me, and so things like that to make records. You can go in and work and make a product, and the product is either going to sell or it isn't, right? You can go in and make a film, and he stated how when After Earth was a box office disappointment, and he stated how you know and I think there was some resentment there because he kind of listened to Jada in terms of, well, he wants to be considerate of his son's feelings, and I'm all about feelings as opposed to how he does movies. It's 24/7 until the movie is complete, and then when the movie basically flopped, then he said, "You see, if we'd have done it my way, I know how to make I have the formula to make the winning formula to make a good product, a good movie, a successful movie, but we veered off, and his son took the hit, and he was crushed because of that because he didn't take the hit, his son did, and you know, so." You can't control those variables. With Jada Pinkett, to me, it's clear that she no longer wants to be married, right? People can say she's in love with Tupac. I mean, obviously the relationship, she wouldn't have gotten what she got with Will with Tupac. That relationship just wouldn't have worked. These were two volatile people. I don't understand what really people why people are shocked by Jada Pinkett, and no disrespect, but I mean, she's a Baltimore hood rat. I mean, let's call it what it is. So you expect for hood rats to act a certain way. Will Smith talked about both of them talked about actually, but Will Smith said she was, promiscuous, and she was the one saying that she had a sex addiction, and he saved her life. So it's like the old adage, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, and he tried. See, his will to succeed will even take that old adage that proven time and time again it doesn't work, and he will try to make it happen, right? And then just recently, I think it was today, he was on Good Morning America something, and he talked about how insanely jealous of Tupac he was. I mean, you know, he was bigger than Tupac in terms of popularity by 96, 97 with Independence Day and Men in Black. Maybe not necessarily in the hoods because the way Tupac rapped and what he rapped about and the thug image that he portrayed, and Will Smith wanted to be that. And it's like, bro, you are still alive to continue to live your life at 52. Tupac died at 26. Why would you be want to be in his place or be him or be like him? Because being like him got him killed, got Tupac killed. Being the growing up in the conscious Black Panthers and all this kind of stuff, and then turn to the gang life, the thug life, is what got him killed. So I'd rather, Will, you should rather be you. Yeah, you grew up, but it ain't like you didn't grow up in, you grew up in the suburbs. You grew up in Philly. Philly is hard. You didn't rap about what you saw, but that's okay. It's cool. But that got you to the point to where Tupac would have never got to the point to where he got to. I don't believe, because Tupac wasn't going to leave the streets alone. I mean, even 50 Cent for some part decided to leave the streets alone. But guess what? He didn't make it to where Jay-Z made it, right? He's still more connected to the streets than Jay-Z is. And so that's going to cost you. But Will Smith, you ascended heights that Tupac he wasn't going to get to, because he wasn't going to let go of the street life. But that's Will Smith's problem. I mean, yes, we get tired of seeing Jada Pinkett disrespect a black man, but if that black man is tolerating it, then there's really nothing else that we should be saying, right? Not gonna, like I said, go down the thing of calling. I think a lot of the behavior that he exhibits is simp behavior, but that's on Will Smith. This is a Will Smith problem. It's much like Steph Curry and Aisha Curry. These type of guys should not get women who also want to be in the spotlight. When she came out on the Red Table Talk, no less, saying how she was jealous of the attention that he's getting. It's like, and then Steph Curry trying to prop Aisha Curry up the way Will Smith tried to prop Jada Pinkett up, and it's going to backfire on him. And I don't think he has the same problem that Will Smith has. I think Steph Curry's more of a simp than Will Smith, but because Will Smith does have the ability to check Jada. He told her, I think when they first got together, they were at a like a house party, couple with other couples there, and she said something like, "F you" or "shut the F up" or something, and he hit her with a magazine, popped her in the head, and was like, "Yo," and he made her get up, and he checked her like, "Yo, we ain't gonna curse at each other, blah blah blah," and they were like, it was 20 years from that point that we never said a curse word to each other, whatever. And obviously, I believe it was when he found out about the August Alsina thing, cat blew a top. But he has the ability to check her. But what I believe why he won't do it is because he understands that if he tried to go so hard on Jada Pinkett, she already doesn't want to be. She's not the housewife type. That's not her, right? And she said it because she said she never wanted to be married. I mean, if a woman is telling you she doesn't want to be married, why would you then get married to that woman? It's insane to me. But she stated that she didn't want to get married. She told him that she didn't want to get married, but you married her anyway. So he understands that if I push back, that will have her out the door, because you can't control what another person wants to do. He can put everything he has. He could do everything on earth to make the marriage work. If she does not want it to work, it's not going to work. And he can't control her. And the doctor stated that, you know, he likes to be in control, but he can't control in personal relationships. You cannot control the other side. If the other side does not want to be in that relationship with you, there's nothing you can do. You have to chalk that up and keep it pushing. And you would have thought he learned that lesson from Cherie, but to me, I think he looked at it, was like, okay, well, I made some mistakes. I won't make those same mistakes again with Jada, so everything will be perfect. And no matter how much he gives to her, it still isn't enough to satisfy her. And you know, the only way they're gonna get divorced if she does it. He's never going to divorce her. And I know they stated this foolishness about, they're gonna stay in the same house even if she got somebody over here and he got somebody on the other side. They're gonna just, bad marriage for life and all this craziness. But you know, anyway, like I said, it was, I thought it was deeper. I saw something with Will Smith and the military programming from his father, the very, strict regimented uh drive to succeed was instilled by his father. And I think, that along with him competing with his father, and even to the point to where, his father owed his mother $140,000 worth of child support, and Will Smith stated he paid that for his father, right? So it's always to outdo his father. And I had, and I can speak to that a little bit, right? And being in a similar situation where Will Smith, I'm named after my father, and I have a younger brother, and the oldest one always catches more from the father than the younger brother, right? And I remember a time, I think I was like 13, and my father was in the military as well, and you know he was running. We decided to go on a run for some reason or whatever, right? But I'm 13, and I think my pops, he must have been about 33, yeah, because he's 20 years older than me. But so he's 33, like it's prime, right? It's prime, pretty much is in his prime there, and we're running, and I was like, yo, even though I was dog tired, I was like, yo, I'm not gonna stop. Like, he gonna stop before I stop. So I'm competing. So I can understand the mindset of you kind of want to outdo your dad in a certain regard, right? Because I was like, I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep running. One of us, we gonna have to fall out together before I stop running. I'm not gonna let him beat me, and all this kind of stuff. So I can see, I can see some of that, but am I to where Will Smith is? Heck no, because I understand when things ain't working, and it's time to bounce, and it's time to go. And I don't think he's gonna ever change. And we'll just have to see how bad it's going to get, and in terms of what she's going to say next, and then what he's going to respond with. But this is a lesson just for brothers to learn. We got to know when, there was an old song by this guy named Kenny Rogers, right? And, back in the day, um, it was it was really literally about playing poker. You gotta, what do you say? You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. To the, and that's a very true lesson. You gotta know when to fold up your cards. You got to know when to hold your cards, know when to walk away. It was like, the same for me. Know when to run away sometimes. But Rebel family, appreciate you for pulling up. Those are my final thoughts. Peace.